Hi there, it's Anna Maria Herrera, Emotional Freedom Technique Practitioner, and my website's www.eftsystem.com. And I thought it would be very helpful to have my client, Erica, share with you her experience of EFT. We worked on a very traumatic past event, and I wanted to just ask her a few questions for you to hear in her own words, since she is new to EFT, what her experience was like, and any other thoughts. So, Erica, we just did a session of EFT. It really was your first time doing a whole session. Right. Mm-hmm. What was your experience with it?
It was great. It was very different than anything I've ever done before. Not like I really haven't done therapy or anything like that either. But from in the beginning, I could not stand looking at that mirror, and then it went from fear and anxiety and just rage and all this emotion to neutral.
Yeah.
In less than an hour.
Wow. Yeah.
0 to 60.
Yeah. And it was a trauma that you had for many months, so it wasn't something that just happened. You had these feelings, all these feelings you just described, over the course of a good 4 months.
Yeah, so I'd been upset about this for 4 months, but then, 3/4 of the way through, I'm starting to pick out a common theme, and it's like putting together a whole book from one chapter, and this is where it began.
Yeah, because when you came to me, as you mentioned right now, you had all of these emotions. That not only did that trauma from that event go away or was neutralized, but more importantly, we uncovered, didn't we?
We sure did.
Something else. Can you just touch just a couple minutes? You don't have to necessarily say specifics, but were you surprised that this whole other thing came up underneath that has actually been a part of your life, and from what I'm hearing, you're wanting to let go of?
Well, yeah. The part that I thought I was angry at one thing, but we had talked earlier, and it was a phantom, total phantom apparition of. When I looked in the mirror the last time, I feel like I was noticing different things. I was really almost looking at it in a completely different way.
Right. And for folks that are listening to this, what we were talking about was that you really disliked your haircut, and so you're coming to me because it was affecting your life. You were feeling very unattractive. You were noticing you're getting treated differently. Now that trauma or that pain has gone down.
Right. Now that's gone down, but now we're sort of looking at the common theme, injustice.
Yeah.
And injustices in my life.
Yeah.
And the people that cause them.
Yeah. So isn't it interesting is that one of the things, and this is why I so love EFT, is that it can clear those quote-unquote themes. You said that's beautifully. If someone has a theme in their life of being unjustly treated, they will go on to attract people and circumstances that will have them act out or experience injustice. With EFT, we can neutralize that. And then now you're not experiencing situations that keep on causing that feeling of being unjustly treated.
Right. I mean, so from the time that we stopped to now with the Q&A, I uncovered like 3 other times when, just over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Just over the last 2 years that were huge. Yeah. Huge rifts with friends, or even some medical injustices. Some dental injustices. It's just like, I feel like it's a hugely common theme in my life, and I kind of knew, thought about it sometimes, but I really didn't know how deep it went.
It went. Let me ask you this. When you came here, if I try to talk you out of that trauma that you experienced, would that have worked? Not doing EFT?
No.
If we just talk about it? Why?
Because I've been getting that for the last 4 months.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been getting. Oh, you look fine. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, it'll grow. I don't care what. It just didn't work.
But with the EFT is what seemed to shift things for you.
It was a cognitive shift.
Yeah.
It was a complete and utter change in visual perception of myself, and in I mean, in every way.
That's fabulous. What do you think, if you hadn't cleared this up with this one situation, with this trauma, how would you be different? If we hadn't have done this, if you haven't have used EFT, how do you just imagine your life would be?
I'd be going about it the same way. I probably wouldn't have done anything. I would have been embittered, really embittered.
Still wanted to sue the hairdresser.
Because that happens with me. I'm still bitter at a person from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm still upset about something that happened, last June.
Yeah.
I'm still upset.
Right.
Those things do not get neutral. They just make me not talk to people.
Yeah.
And just cut people out completely.
Wow. So some other things to work with EFT on too. Let me ask you this: for those that have not experienced EFT before, because there's a lot of information about emotional freedom technique out there, and people are learning it and they're wondering about it. What are your thoughts for people that have not experienced it, or maybe even had a session with a practitioner? Do you have any thoughts for them?
I think if you've never done it, whatever you read about or somebody tells you about it's not the same as when you do it. It's like watching a movie. No one can describe you how how it's going to be.
Yeah.
You just have to do it and experience it and give it a try. It's the only way.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. This is really important because there's so many folks that are getting exposed to EFT. They're thinking about going to a practitioner. They're like yourself and myself and people everywhere that they've had a trauma on some level or they've had painful experiences and they don't know how to clear it up. And as you said, talking only gets you so far. So this is Anna Maria again, EFT practitioner, and thank you for joining me for this little clip listening to my client of how EFT has assisted her in her life. Again, my website, goteftSystem.com, and I'll connect with you real soon. Thanks for joining us.